Hi everyone, it's Sue. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do another prompt journal page. This one is make a pocket using a book page and insert a tag you have made. So I went and had a hunt around and I found this particular tag that I made some time ago, and it's just looking at it, it's paint rolled on with the brayer and possibly a stamp or a stencil. There's some little faux stitching done with a brown marker. I've put some sari silk at the top, and the printable was from Tandy Art, I believe it's called, and I will put a link down below. You can print them, get them from the internet, and they're very cute. I do like the her style. On the back, nothing on the back, it's just a tag. So what I thought I would do is pop this one in, because it's a big one and it's harder to use in my journal, so I thought it would be perfect in here. So what I've done is I'm thinking of making a pocket, but I'm going to slow stitch it. So what I've gone and got is a whole bunch of fabrics. I've got this piece of denim, and I got this offline. I actually bought a packet of vintage fabrics. Not that I needed any more fabrics, but I'm finding that I'm having to reuse the same ones over and over, and I really didn't want to go and buy extra, but I thought just for the sake of having a bit of variety, I'd better get some different ones. So I've got this particular piece here of denim, and it looks like it's been somebody's jeans. So that's going to be my pocket, and then I've grabbed a whole bunch of other little fabric scraps, just some little bits and pieces that I thought I would slow stitch on. Now I do have this particular one which has been cut with the flower. So all those colours I'm hoping will tone in with the tag. And I've also got this little bit of trim that I might put on as well. I've also got some embroidery threads which I also hope will tone in a little bit as well. I've got my pins, and I've got some cotton, just some normal cotton. So I'm not going to do the whole thing on video because it will take forever. But what I thought I would do is I would start it off and show you just bits and pieces of the progress. So I've got some normal cotton or thread, and I'm going to sew the elements of fabric onto the pocket. So I might just get that out of the way for a minute. So what I need to do is work out what I'm going to do with the fabric scraps. That's quite a bright one, so, and they're not cut perfectly, but I don't know if that matters when you're slow stitching so much. Although I do like this a little bit straighter, so I might just trim that. Okay, so I'm thinking that'll fit across there. Something bright maybe. Where's that flower? I do like that flower. So maybe not sure if I want it as a background or as more of a feature. Let's just pop that like so. If I pop it sort of in the corner as a feature, I don't want to lose all the other fabric behind it though. Maybe if I move this a little bit, or maybe I should put that at the front like so. Oh, sorry, you're totally off screen. That's better. Let's have a look. Maybe something like that. No, I think it needs to be behind. Now there's a lot of that yellow, so maybe I'm not sure if that one really tones in, so I might take that away, but I still think there's too much yellow. So what if I maybe move this, maybe take that right across. It's annoying me, that bumping up bit there. Put that there. Put that there. And maybe across the top. I think maybe this needs to go more this way. I quite like that. Yeah, I quite like that. I think that will do. Or maybe I can move that a little bit more that way. Breaks up the yellow a little bit. I think that will do, but I need to move this one under here a little bit more over. So maybe if I turn it that way. And maybe I should put that over the top. Okay, let's just redo all this. Okay, now I've forgotten how I had it. It was something like that, wasn't it? And that was that way, I think. Okay, I might trim that one actually. And I still have this area, I could possibly put a bit of trim or something like that across there. Yeah, I think I like that actually. Okay, let's just pin it into place. Now I was going to trim this one a little bit because otherwise it'll be too thick. Okay, so, and I'm just going to tack it down for the moment and then trim it all up that way. And then we'll just do a little bit of slow stitching over the top and maybe a little bit of embellishment with the trim, or maybe some embroidery, I'm not sure. They weren't supposed to take too long, these particular ones. Okay, so I'm just going to tack it down. And you don't actually have to take the tacking out either, if you don't want to. It all adds to the texture of the whole thing. Oof, my needle doesn't want to go through the fabric. I'm not sure if that's because the needle's blunt or because, yeah, it might be the needle actually. We might just change the needle. Let's have a look. There's a very fine one. Let's see if I can thread that without using anything to help me. Could be interesting. No. Oh, close. Ugh, nearly. I don't have my little needle threader here, unfortunately. Try again. Ah, got it. Good. Okay. Oh, that's better. And take that out now. That's it. Oh, we have a knot already. Goodness. Okay, what I might do is stop the camera, undo this knot, do a little bit more, and then show you my progress. Okay, so I'm just making my way around. I've just gone down along, so I'm just going around the edge for the moment, And all I'm doing is just making a large tacking stitch. I have decided that I will take it out, so I'm just going in and out. Sometimes if the fabric's not too thick, I'll do more of a running sort of stitch, but at the moment just going in and out, and I'm trying to catch the edges of the fabric. So my stitches are all different sizes really, because the aim is to keep the fabric down so that you can do the slow stitching over the top. And of course you've got to also be aware that you've got to catch that fabric as well. So it's best to, I think it's easier to do it like this first. Then you're not worried about the pins in the way when you're trying to do slow stitch. So I'm just simply going in and out. Now I might do a bit of a zigzaggy sort of a thing here, just to tack those edges down. And as I said, I've got to make sure when I do the slow stitch on top that I still catch those edges, particularly as I am taking the tacking stitch out. If I wasn't taking the tacking stitch out, then it wouldn't matter so much, but I've decided I will take it out this time. So my stitches are quite large and kind of all over the place. So I will just continue doing that, and then I will show you again where I'm up to. Okay, now I've only just used the one thread. I'm not going to bother adding another one. So I've missed a little bit here, but I think that will be fine. Now what I'm going to do is just trim off some of these edges that are sticking out, just so I've got a bit of a smoother edge to work with. I'm not too fussed about those ones because it kind of looks square. I think that will be fine. This one looks a little not straight to me, so I'll just trim that bit. Okay, that will do. Alright, so I might just bring you up a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is thread up some of the embroidery thread, and I do also have this. I'm not sure if I showed that before. It's just a white, what is it, Panda Ruby 10 stranded cotton, stranded condition, sorry. I don't know, I think it's light crochet thread, I think, but it's quite fine. So what one am I going to use first? Might do some blue on this yellow. Now I've just sort of grabbed out the ones that toned in, and they're sort of a bit scrappy, some of these now. I think that'll be thick enough. This is only 2 strands of it, but I think it will be fine. Now I do have to make sure I've got a needle that I can thread and that will go through. Where's the other end? Hopefully the other end's a bit better. Nope, not quite. I've only got one strand. Yep, okay. Oh my goodness, it's getting harder and harder to do knots in the ends of things now. I don't know why. My fingers, they're really losing the grip on them. I don't know if it's just what happens with age, or whether it's because I, use my hands a lot. I don't know, but there's just no grip on my fingers anymore. Okay, so I'm looking at the yellow part here, and I'm thinking I might just go across, and I'll probably go straight across that red as well. Now I'm going to aim for reasonably even stitches, and I'm just doing a running stitch like so. And the thing is to make sure that you don't pull it too tight. Try not to pucker it. Ouch, that was my finger. So that's it so far. I hope everybody's really well at the moment. As I'm filming this again in Victoria, we're in lockdown again. This is our 6th now, which is really getting a little bit tedious, to be honest. It's not great for the economy, it's not great for the mental well-being of people, but unfortunately we seem to be having huge issues here with people not obeying the rules, I suppose, in that they don't. There's some people who are not wearing masks. There's some people who are visiting other people when we've been clearly said not to, because that appears to be the main spread or way to spread it. I'm just looking at this thinking, do I want to go across that brown or not? I don't really want to. I think, I will. I think I'll go across that brown as well. I think it'll be a little easier to do it that way. Yeah, so we're in lockdown again, and you know, it's just frustrating. It really is. But what do you do? And I know that people are talking about the vaccinations and so forth, and I understand why people are having them. I understand that, you know, people are scared, but I'm really hoping that it does what people are hoping it will, but I have a horrible feeling it won't. And I guess it'll be like the flu vaccinations. You'll be having them now every year. I can't have the flu vaccination. I'm allergic to it. So I'm very, very wary of having the COVID one. I will, I guess, eventually. And look, to be honest, had I been living somewhere where it was a major issue, now, just looking at that thing, it's not very straight. So I might just go back and straighten that up. Yeah, if I was living somewhere where there was more of a major issue, maybe I'd be more anxious to have it, but at the moment, not too stressed. See what's happened. I was hoping to catch that pink fabric, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to. Might have to do something else there. And I shouldn't have been talking because now it's gone and got knotted up. The problem is you also have a lot of different little threads hanging around too, which sometimes get caught up in the stitching. All right. Just take those off. Not sure how much you can actually see. And I'm now doing my 3rd row across. Just simply in and out, in and out. And look, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight or anything like that. If you want it to be, of course, you could draw lines, but I'm just going by eye. I think part of the charm of a hand stitch thing is the fact that it isn't perfect. I mean, it'd be so much easier to do this on a sewing machine, let's face it, but it doesn't have the same appeal. And for the moment, I'm just simply doing a running stitch. I could do some embroidery on the top as well. Now my debate is, what am I going to do? Am I going to do another row? I think I will, but I'm going to have to get some more thread. I don't think it's going to quite, oh, it might make it. It's going to be a bit tricky to sew though. Let's see how we go. Nothing like a challenge, is there? I really hope you can actually see. It's hard to sew when you can't bring it up to your face, I find, which is why I don't do a lot of slow stitch videos. I actually do slow stitching, but I don't video them because it is really tricky to show. Okay, we're getting close to the end now, so hopefully it will make it. I really don't like threading up new needles. I really don't. Ooh, it's going to be close. It will make it. It's whether I can actually finish it off that'll be the issue. Now, nothing like a challenge, really. Okay, it will be glued down at this point, so it's not too major. Okay, might just tie a little knot in that, see if that works. Alright, what I might do is stop the video again, or pause the video, and do a little bit more, and come back and show you what I've done. Okay, so this is what I've done so far. And I'm thinking now I'm actually going to use this more, it's a pinky red thread, and I'm thinking I might go around the edge of this one, and then I might actually embroider or do lazy daisy stitches around the petals of that. I was wondering whether yellow will stand out better, or the blue, or possibly you could use white. I just thought it might be a nice way to make that stand out if I did it like that. So I'm just going to go around the edge of this, and I'm just thinking I really need to catch the edges of this one because it's quite frayy. So I'm wondering whether maybe a small zigzaggy type stitch. I could do blanket stitch actually. I might do that. Okay, now I'm not sure what happened. I think the internet disconnected, so I'm not sure what I'm up to. So what I was planning on doing is a blanket stitch around the edges of this particular flower here. Now I'm just going to try and remember how to do a blanket stitch actually. I always sit there and fiddle around for a few minutes while I figure it out. This way I think, from memory. Now I'm doing it around the edge of the flower, not the edge of the pocket. So I've just got to make sure, oof, it's very thick in there too, that I catch the edge of the fabric. Okay, messed up the start a little bit there, but never mind, it'll be fine. Alright. It is a bit trickier because it's so close to the edge of the pocket. But I think it will be okay. What I do, now this is how I do it, I don't know if everyone else does, but you've got your thread coming from the top, you poke it in whatever size width stitch you want, and then I just bring it straight up like so. And I push it, and I make sure the thread is looped behind it so that it catches it. Oh, it's very hard because it's denim fabric. So like so. So the thread's again at the top, push it down and bring it up and bring it around like so. Oops. So down, make sure that thread's out of the way, and like so. Okay, I'm going to continue that around until I get to the other side, and I'll be back. Alright, so far I've just gone right around the edges of the flower patch. Actually goes this way. Now I've threaded up the white thread, and it's probably all knotted now. And I'm going to do some lazy daisies, or a daisy stitch, around each of the petals, so that it brings out those petals. Which way will I start? This way. So I'm going to start at this point. Oh gosh, working through the layers of fabric, not always easy. Okay, now I'm just going to, oops, I've got a long piece because I don't want to have to rethread it. So now what you do is you go back down as close or in the same hole. I like to go next to it with my needle, if you can see that there, and making sure that the thread is away from you. Just going to pull it gently through, make sure it doesn't knot as it goes, till I get to the point where I can see it. So I can see that there. Now I'm going to come back up at the end of the petal, like so, through the loop. Can you see the needle? Yep, there it is. And gently, very gently, pull it through. Oops, I think I've lost it. What's happened? Okay, now what happened is the thread pulled a little bit tight, so I should be able to loosen that again. That's it. So it should look like that, and then just gently pull it, make it so that you've got your loop how you want your loop, and then go back down the other side of the thread, like so. Maybe that way. And that should catch that thread or that loop. Probably shouldn't have had my thread so long, and it looks like that. So again, through the bottom, and make a loopy thing, back down next to the thread. Oops, make sure you don't catch anything else. And then back up, once you've got your loop, back up through the end of the where you want the petal. Gently pull it so that you're pulling the threads to make the loop, and then back down over the top of that thread. Okay, and you can sort of manipulate the thread a little bit to make your loops better. Okay, so I'm going to continue round the flower like that. Now I'm following these petals. If you don't have a base to follow, then you can just estimate where you want the petals to be. That one's a longer, skinnier one, so let's make it a bit wider. Definitely requires patience, I must say. Okay, now that one to me is too skinny, so I'm going to try and make it just a little bit wider. There we go. And that's where you've got to be careful you don't pull it too much. Alright, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I've finished that part. Now I'm going to do just some random French knots inside here, just to fill this space. And then I'm also thinking I need to do something here, and then probably some trim. So I'll just do some French knots. I'll just do a couple on camera, and then I will stop and do them off camera. Well, I'll try to do them on camera. Okay, so bringing the thread up like so. And what I do is I put that under my finger and I just simply wrap. I've done 3 times and back down right next to where the thread came up, holding this other one with your finger the whole time, and gently pull it through and hope it doesn't knot. Just gently pulling it through, and there we have a little French knot. So another one over here. I'm just randomly doing these, so I hold it, wrap, 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 so 3 times, back down holding the thread, and just gently trying to pull it through very gently and slowly too, so that it doesn't all curl up and make a complete mess. 1, 2, 3. Whoops, hang on, I'll just do that again. I caught the daisy. Let's straighten up the daisy. Okay, so grab it. 1, 2 and 3, and back down into the hole, or next to the hole. Right next to it's the best, and pull it through. Alright, I'll do some more and I'll be back. Alright, so my next step, so I've done that and I've done some blue, just tacking straight stitch there. My next thing is I'm going to sew this down, and I'm just using normal cotton or thread, and I'm just going to do a bit of a stabbing stitch through the flowers right across to the other end. And then I'm thinking, I think I might finish off this with a blanket stitch around the whole edge, because I think it might fray too much otherwise. So I'll do that, come back, and I think that will be pretty much finished. So I'll come back and show you that in a moment. Alright, now I finished that, and that's the finished product. Well, the slow stitching anyway. Now all I've got to do is take out the tacking and glue it down, and we're done. So I'll just take out the tacking, and I'm just cutting a few of the strands, and I'll just see if I can pull it out. You can't always pull it out because it gets caught with the other stitching, so sometimes it's a little bit fiddly to get it out. So I might just do that and come back, I think. Okay, so now I'm going to glue it down, and I'm going to use my craft glue, because I think that will hold it the best. I probably could actually sew it down onto the page, but I'm not sure what's on the other side. I haven't actually looked, so probably not a good idea. Okay. Oops. And okay. Just get rid of that glue. Alright. Now I don't want to put this in permanently, but I'm just going to show you that that's how it will slide in. It will slide a little bit further down, but I didn't want to catch the glue. So that's my slow stitched pocket with a tag. I'll put some photos at the end for you. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope the video wasn't too disjointed, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.